Welcome to MGS, the movie and game show, a podcast where we talk about movies and we talk about games. My name is Dallin, and as always, I am joined by the venerable Dr. Scott Russell. How are you today? What did you say? This is the foremost saxophone solo of our time?
Yeah. Of our generation.
Of our generation, yeah. Apropos of nothing. Just enjoy that for a moment.
Getting into it. I just love the drums and that. Really going for it. None of this drum message shite.
Going
we're
hard.
out of the 80s. Yeah. We're into the 90s. Real music is
real
happening.
Drums, yeah.
Real drums is happening. I'm good. I saw Beetlejuice the other day.
Oh, yes.
I did enjoy it. But what I want to talk about is that we need to have a serious conversation about the cinema and the amount of fuckers that are just casually checking their phones constantly. Like, woman in front of me, she's just like looking at like photos, like every so often opening it, looking at a photo, and then like zooming in on it just to like look at parts of it.
Look at feet.
What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? like honestly,
got the biggest screen in the world 20 feet in front of you. I
know. And you want to look at photographs on your little phone here that you just have saved or taken. Honestly. And then I think probably worse is the middle-aged women behind me that think that they're in their living room. And they're like, they're talking, but they're just like talking about things in the film as if like they came up with it. Like, it'll be like, Beetlejuice is gonna force somebody to marry him, and before he says it, he's gonna ask her to marry him. Like, fuck me, yeah, watch the fucking film, honestly. Like, or like being like, that would be me. Like, no, it fucking wouldn't, because I enjoyed the film, and I don't enjoy you. Okay, you wouldn't do anything like what's going on in the film.
Dear.
Fuck's sake, just like narrating it like 2 seconds before anybody does anything in the film.
I love that.
What's going on?
That. And I love like who's that? Have you ever seen a film, love? Like, just hang on.
I know.
Just hang on. I'm sure we'll find out.
Yeah, like similar to that, or like they'll be like, "That's the dad." But like, yeah, I know. We're meant to know who that is.
He comes in with a shirt wearing the da, and you're like, "Who's that?"
On it.
That's the da.
That's the da. So, what I'd like to talk about, I enjoyed the practicality of the film. I felt like they're making the stop motion. They're making weird little like vignettes in the film. You know, there's a bit of when they do exposition. Beetlejuice doing a bit. He just switches to Italian, and then they do like a little like Italian expressionist like vignette to do the backstory of him in black and white. Okay. And I'm like, this is great. And then of course Jeffrey Jones, I think his name is, maligned actor Jeffrey Jones, the principal in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, the da in Beetlejuice, not the da, but the da in that film. Of course, sex offender. This guy. Right?
Good.
And so I knew going into the film, because in the trailer, it's like his funeral or whatever. So I'm like, okay, he's dead. So we're writing him out of the film. He's gone. And I just thought, we're just not going to see him. We're just going to be like, he's dead. Okay? Slight spoilers for the film, because this wasn't in trailers or anything. Instead of just him being dead, they do a little stop motion, like, flashback of what happened to him. Okay? So we don't need to get the actor.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's Catherine O'Hara's narrating it, and it's like, oh, he was in a plane crash and all this sort of stuff, and he dies in a plane crash, and he's like, oh no, but that wasn't all. He was actually eaten by sharks, and you just get little stop motion like shark just eating the face off him.
Yeah.
And then you think, oh, we'll leave it there. No. He's in the film because obviously this is about dead people in the afterlife and stuff. So he's a dead body, but he's not just a dead body. He's a dead body that has no head and shoulders, and he just is arms and legs and walking around, gaping wound, spurting blood, bones, everything, just like grotesque, walking around the place. And I'm like, they didn't just write the pedophile out of the film. They just fucking ate him, and then they just made him walk around without a face the entire time.
Desecrated him, yeah.
Desecrated him. Like, imagine watching that and being like, oh, I can't wait to see what happens to the legacy of my character in a film. Like, okay, he is just absolutely brutalized throughout the whole thing. And I don't know if that was we're gonna punish the sex offender, or if it was just a clever and creative way to write him out of it. But I just thought, you know what, that's fucking brutal. Either way, imagine that is you. Imagine
funny.
Like if they did a sixth Pirates film and they did that to Johnny Depp or something. Just like, yeah, well, just write him out. He's just a zombie without a face now.
I can see probably some people would still think that that's too much, but I think that that's quite funny. I think that's funny. Addressing it in a pretty tongue-in-cheek way. Nothing wrong.
It's pretty good. And they had his gravestone, and his gravestone was a shark fin as well. Good. Just absolutely shitting all over this
Which
guy.
Is also great, with sharks being, an apex predator.
Yep.
That's pretty funny.
Predator gets himself a predator.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we're not talking about apex predators today.
Scott, listen, man.
I'm sorry for what I've done.
We missed some video game movies. And I was excited for this. I was excited for this one. Especially because of just been playing a little bit of Dragon Quest. Right? Just finished it. Like 2 weeks ago. Finished Dragon Quest 11. Quite the slog. So, we watched Dragon Quest Your Story. Right? Tell us a little bit about this thing.
In Japanese, Dragon Questo Yua Sutori.
Very good.
Which is a 2019 Japanese CG anime film based on the Dragon Quest series of video games, adapting the storyline of the 1992 video game Dragon Quest V. It was released in Japan by Toho on the 2nd of August 2019, with an international release on Netflix on the 13th of February 2020. On the 13th of February 2019, Dragon Quest creator Yuji Horii appeared on Nippon TV News Zero and announced that a 3D CG anime film based on the franchise would be released. Titled Dragon Quest Your Story, it adapts the 1992 video game Dragon Quest V, written and directed by Takashi Yamazaki. It is also directed by Ryuichi Yagi and Makoto Hanafusa. Just had to say the sentence that way. Some of the staff, including Yamazaki and Yagi, previously worked on the 2014 CG anime film Stand By Me Doraemon. Do we know this guy? You know, this little blue guy here? Yeah. Little blue guy. Yeah. I don't even know what that. I don't know what he is. I don't know what that's about.
I think he fits into like not specifically Hello Kitty, but it's like the Hello Kitty adjacent. Like what is this? What is this? Is this a toy? Is this a show? What are you? It's just
He's a manga.
Yeah.
First of all, he's an earless robotic cat who travels back in time from the 22nd century to aid a boy named Nobita Nobi. What the hell?
Yeah, back in time.
Standard. Fucking.
It's your normal Dinko Makito.
When's he been around? 1969 he's been around from. Jesus. They didn't know what they were doing.
No.
Okay. For the film, the dialogue was recorded first, and the characters' mouths and expressions were created to match it, which is extremely unusual for an anime.
But very normal for everything else. Yeah.
Yeah. For the film, the dialogue was recorded first. I just read that out again. Describing the animation, Yamazaki said...
Hey, what happened first? Was the animation or the VO?
For the film... Well, the dialogue was recorded first, and then the characters' mouths and expressions were created to match it, which is extremely unusual for an anime. So for the film, the dialogue was recorded first, and the characters' mouths and expressions were created to match it. Which I don't know if you know, it's extremely unusual.
Okay.
So describing the animation, Yamazaki said that it was done at the studio by different animators who created different forms of Akira Toriyama's original designs from the video game. The actors recorded their dialogue twice, once 2 years prior, and then with the finished animation. Fucking
Why?
hell. I know. I don't know. The information is scant.
Do it
on this
both
one,
ways,
so
yeah.
We're doing whatever we can. In December 2019, Dragon Quest V novelist Saori Kumi filed a lawsuit against the producers of the film, claiming that the characters' names she came up with in the novel were being used in the film without permission. Following the release of the first trailer, some Japanese fans negatively criticized the decision to hire famous live-action actors to voice the characters instead of professional voice actors. Happens all the time. Much of the negative criticism was also directed at the character designs, which did not use Akira Toriyama's signature art style of the series. This film grossed 1.42 billion yen, which is $13 million during its theatrical run in Japan. It was one of the top 25 highest grossing Japanese films of 2019. It is a 73% on Rotten Tomatoes from user reviews, not of critics' reviews, and a 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb. It only has 4 critics' reviews and only has 1 that's positive. I'll give you some of that, except I can't because it's a video and it's been made private. So I'll give you a bad one. From a blog called Ready Steady Cut, which is like fucking 150 words.
Great.
The whole review. So the final bit. Unfortunately, while the animation remains its biggest selling point, the result is clunky, tepid, and frankly boring because of its lusterless dialogue, which garnered some mild flack for casting actors instead of video game voice actors and plot. The script changed the game's classic ending, which seems like a strange way to alienate fans. You're better off having a fun vintage video game weekend of playing Dragon Quest or Sonic the Hedgehog than seeing either in theaters this weekend.
Literally paid by Sega, yeah.
It's maybe because the film came out. Maybe that was it.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it was about the same time, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sorry about this film. It's not very good. It has got the most rapid pace of anything we've ever watched. It is like a million plot points in this altogether. It's so rushed. And by the end, you understand why, but that doesn't make it any better. I think that the dubbing is really bad with the lip sync. Like it is. I watched it in English.
Yes, I did too.
I think it's Yuri Lowenthal is the main guy, which is kind of cool. I quite like that. It's got some good bits, maybe. Don't know. What do you think of like the animation and like the CG in it?
I think it's stunning. I think it was absolutely gorgeous. I thought the art style was really nice, and not just that, but like, I loved the facial animations. I thought it was very expressive, very expressive. And not just that, but like, I was laughing out loud when Luca goes to to unsheath the sword and he can't do it right, and he's like got it like pinched between his legs. He's like trying to pull it out. Like there's some really funny, really comical bits. I thought it was a really pretty movie. Really nice to look at.
Apart from that, though, what do you think?
So, I messaged a friend of mine when I finished it. She's biggest Dragon Quest fan that I know. I stayed at her house last fall when I went to Portland, and I sent you a video just going around her house, taking videos of all the slimes that she has everywhere. Fucking slimes for days in her house, right? Mm-hmm. And I messaged her about an hour in to this movie, and I was like, I think you would really like this, because I was genuinely enjoying my time. Yes, all the things that you said, for sure, right? The pacing is nuts, okay, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense. It relies a lot on its opening narration, which is scant.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is always poor in the film.
It is bad, and this one is particularly bad. But yeah, I was still enjoying it overall, and Sky was watching with me, and she was having a good time, and she was laughing at bits, and it was all really nice, Scott. And then things change, and I was genuinely hurt. Like, I was so sad by what this movie decided to do with the end.
See, I think we're coming at it different. We're like different. I didn't enjoy like a lot of it, and then I like the ending, and it actually makes me like the film more.
I think
I just thought it was just quite. I just didn't really expect it, and I was kind of like, this is a bit weird and different. I don't know. I just kind of
but like, I think I'm actually really glad to have just played Dragon Quest all the way through, fucking including the 30-hour post game to get the real ending.
You've cemented that I will never go back.
Scott, it was a slog, let me tell you.
Nah. I've done my 20 hours. That's
the prologue.
Yeah, fucking tell me about it. Nothing going on.
I know. So, like, I did feel that this was a really, like, nice representation of the series and the tone of everything.
Yeah.
And I wasn't aware how much of Dragon Quest V's music is used in 11. But also, this is an important point. Two things. First off, I think Dragon Quest has some of the worst music of any video game franchise ever made. I think it is a shit show.
He's coming out swinging. He's swinging for you, friend.
Also, Sugiyama, don't rest in peace. Pile of shite.
Whoa.
Pile of shite, that man. Okay? He's let's look up the list of his crimes, shall we?
Okay, so Sugiyama.
Okay.
Is this?
Look at this. I'll read this for you. You ready? It's always good when you go to Wikipedia and there's a section on political activities and beliefs, right? Sugiyama was a Nanjing massacre denialist, stating that the facts regarding it were selective in nature. He also defended the use of comfort women during World War II. Sugiyama was a board member of the Japan Institute for National Fundamentalists. In 2012, Sugiyama wrote an editorial saying that Japan was in a civil war between the Japanese and anti-Japanese, arguing that the media portrayed acts of patriotism negatively, saying that they needed to sing the national anthem of Japan more often and show more respect to the flag.
Fucking these flag shaggers.
I know.
Man. Honest to God.
In 2012, he appeared on the Japanese culture channel Sakura, a program called Hi Izurukuni Yori, where he said that there's no need for LGBTQ education in Japanese schools, and dismissing all concerns about high suicide rates among that community.
Class.
So, first off, shit man, and couldn't compose a bit of music that fits the moment to save his life.
Couldn't compose his way out of a paper bag.
Yeah, honestly. Every song sounds the fucking same. Oh, what do we do in this one? Loud strings, heavy brass. Yeah, that'll do. There's nothing. Everything sounds the fucking same. And I don't know for sure. But I do think that a lot of the music in this movie is just the record. Like, they didn't even re-record it. They just took it from Dragon Quest XI and chucked it in.
I know. See, like the two sounds that you hear in Japan the most, right, are three actually. I'm going to give you the three. So you get this is a Yamanote line service to Shibuya, right? Second is going into the convenience store and
is that the worst theme song ever made?
Fucking everywhere. Literally, like in Akihabara, you cannot move for that song. It is It is everywhere. It must be just like public domain or something. They're sticking it everywhere.
Why is it like it's like a circus song?
It is, yeah. It is. It's like it's real like marching
yes,
music.
It is.
Maybe that's why. Maybe it does it feel patriotic?
Maybe it's a real flag waver, is it?
It's a flag shagger song, yeah.
I just it's just worth mentioning that the music here sucks, and that the man who made it also sucks.
I know.
Ruining experiences from beyond the grave.
So yeah, I think I'm in the like. I thought that it was just so fast paced and so disorienting and very like rushed, and like I hate these like dissolve transitions that they have constantly, and kind of I don't know. Maybe it's like. Maybe I'm just not into Dragon Quest. Maybe I'm just not into it. You know, yeah. I like all the little monsters. You know, I got my little squishy slime here. I got my little mug with the slime on it. There's like I think it's a Lawson, like the convenience store chain. They have in Osaka. They have a whole Dragon Quest themed one, which I went in, and it's cool. You know, it's got all the artwork on the walls, and the artwork is good. Yes, right. I maybe don't enjoy playing it. I'd maybe try that Dragon Quest 3, like the one that's like Octopath
remake, yeah.
I'd maybe try that. That would be quite good. Just maybe I'm just not into what they're doing, and I'm not into the kind of like ancient mystical exposition that is the main story.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm just not into it really.
Yeah, and story wise, like so they're all the same, right?
Yeah,
they're all hero from the this bloodline, gotta come and expel the darkness, and there's always a wee bit of time travel, and it's fundamentally the same thing, and it's very like concerned with like that's what it wants to be. It does not want to like push forward. It doesn't want.
That's why I thought the ending was quite interesting. I kind of just thought I like this sort of Lego movie meta kind of thing about like because it felt like. It, you know, we're always talking about like people being ashamed of games and like, especially the films, they don't want to be associated with them. Like, whereas this one was very like celebratory of like playing it. If you know what I mean.
I think that's fine. I don't think this is the one to do it with. Like,
but it's your story, Dylan. It's your story.
Before I started the movie, I was mowing the lawn yesterday. I was like, what a fucking weird title. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. I wonder why they've done it. And now it makes sense, and I wish they hadn't.
Like, in 11, is the hero... Did they start you off and his name is Yu? Like, YU?
No, that's Persona.
Is it?
Well, I think in Persona 4, I think like his canon name is Yu.
Oh, Persona 4.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right, actually. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I thought that was weird too. But then you never know. A Japanese translation error or some shit like that. Yeah. You know. When we get into the plot, the never-ending plot of this film.
Whatever. Let's go. We're gonna disagree. It's fine. I had a fine time until the end. You had a shite time until the end.
I was middle of the road, but I did think there were funny bits. I generally like the animation, but I do think that like the cutscenes and stuff in Dragon Quest XI are better. You know, I think it actually looks worse than the game
you think
does.
So? Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so at all.
Don't know. I just wish I don't know.
Go back. Go back. Try it again.
I don't know. Something about it. I just quite like how like soft everyone looks in that game. Like they're all like I just want to take a bite out of everything, you know?
Dude, that's funny. That's what I feel about like this. That everything looks just like
look at us. It's never seen such conflict before. Not since Welcome to Raccoon City. I was going to say, not since Resident Evil. I just have the opposite opinions on things.
Yeah. How does that happen? Yeah.
But I did think it was funny, and I didn't mind like the main character's story. I just thought it was a little bit rushed again.
Yeah, for sure. And I think
but it makes sense with the ending why it's rushed. Like that, it being a shorter space of time than we
it does. How long is the game? Let's see, because like
it's probably really long.
Probably like 90 hours.
Yeah.
30 to 35 hours. Actually, not too bad.
Okay.
But yeah, put that into 95 minutes. It's not.
How you playing that in VR?
I know.
Fucking eyes
Attached
warped,
to tubes.
like
yeah.
flipping Uzumaki eyes. After that. Okay. So long before our time, the heavenly Zenithians gathered their strength to seal the evil Nimzo behind the gates to Nadiria. And that will be the plot of the
That's
film.
it, yes.
Victory came at a loss of lots of people, and if a villain came again, they would need a sword imbued with holy power by the heavenly hero descended from the Zenithian bloodline. There's some real nerd shit going on here.
We love Zenithian. We love Nimzo, don't we? That's a good name.
Nimzo, we love Zenithians, we love it all. Okay. Did you like that it felt like Final Fantasy IX with the little characters? Like, I felt like Bianca was like a little Zidane to me, especially when they had like the little silhouette-y bit later on.
Yeah, maybe that's why I did like it. Actually, they're a little bit chibi, a little bit chibi-fied, aren't they? Yeah,
yeah.
They're quite stumpy, aren't they? Like
they're stumpy, yeah.
Like if that like Final Fantasy IX remake is true, like it looking like this would be a good thing, right?
That would be good,
yeah.
So, and then we have this original Dragon Quest art, and I'll tell you, watching this, like, and the Japanese like words are on the screen and then the subtitles are underneath, I was having a hard time.
I was not but catching a single word.
I was like, here we go. What are we in
this
for?
Is like I appreciate what they're trying to do.
I like this. Yeah.
But fuck it out.
So there's a baby born here, and then they have a battle, and we have Bianca and we have Luca, because it's like they're trying to type out the dialogue while you watch it, and it's really hard to follow. So they have a cat. Okay, and that's Bianca. Luca is the baby, maybe descended from the hero. That's it. And then we're in the 3D times now.
Yes.
Okay. This is that was previously that 2D is like when in the South Park game they made Canada the 2D.
Oh,
like,
did they?
RPG, yeah. Like the gameplay was like in America was like South Park, and then when they went to Canada, it was like that, like 2D top down.
Yeah.
I know. You're less developed than Americans.
Literally.
So we have. It's also just like Dragon Quest XI when you can play as
2D mode, yeah.
Can you play the whole game like that? Is it easier in the 2D mode?
No.
No.
It's also boring as hell.
I can imagine. So we're in the 3D times and we're in the snow, and Luca is training with the cat Percy, and then this is this guy, and then we have someone called Sancho. Okay.
Jaden Sancho, yeah.
Uh-huh. And then some guy comes over to look at Luca's orb, and then, well, what's that? Just fucking dissolve transitions.
Forget about it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, don't forget everything you know about what we just saw. And then Luca's going with this guy here, and they're fighting, and they're sitting by a fire, and it's actually his dad. Because he says, I'm proud to be your father, in the next bit. And then they come to a town called Coburg, and then there's the warrior Pankraz, who was summoned by the king. That's the dad.
The dad.
Pankraz.
Not the dad, but Pankraz.
Not the dad. Pankraz the dad. And then we have Prince Harry with the green hair. Little Lord Fauntleroy here. Right?
He sucks, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. He's alright. He grows on you a bit.
Grows on you in that hour that you don't see him for.
Yeah. He's like, you can be my lackey. He's got like, my father will care about this energy.
Yes.
So then some dragons come in, and then they steal Prince Harry, and it's just going, right? And then Pankraz is fighting some monsters, and then Harry is saved, and then a wizard with sideways eyes comes down, and he takes the boys, right?
A what?
He does. He's got like sideways eyes, like they're both pointing like down and out. They're like Pennywise eyes. And then the monsters beat up Pankraz with their hooves. And then he's just fucking obliterated with a fireball from this wizard.
Yes.
I'll call him Ladras because they said it and I couldn't remember what it
I don't
was.
know what it
So
is.
that's what
You're fine.
Ladras.
Yeah.
I think it's like Ladria. It's Ladrias or Ladrias or something. Ladras will do. So he says, your mother is alive and you need to find her. Not Ladras, but Pancras says that. So the dad says that you need to find your mum. And then the dad's dead. And then Lucas is screaming, Dad!
Yeah.
And then
swinging for the fences on this, isn't he? Yeah. He's absolutely going for it.
Performance of his life. Ladras just laughs. And then he's like, and now you will live the rest of your days as my slave. And true to his word, Luca just wakes up older in a cave.
15
and it's
years
all dirty.
Later, yeah.
I know Prince Harry is there as well. They got Temple of Doomed here. They're just in the mines. And then he's like, you should always address me as Prince Harry. But he's all dirty as well. And I think that's kind of...
That is funny, yeah.
They're both slaves. So then they've been here for 10 years and they can't escape. They're carrying rocks with all the other slaves. And then this guy here, Flippin' Patches, comes up to Luca and tells him that slaves only escape in battles. He really looks like Patches. Slaves only escape when they die in battles because they get dumped in the river in a barrel. And then we get this Hobbit coded shit
my
here.
God,
So Luca and Harry go to the barrel. They go to the barrel part of the slave.
The barrel part.
They have all their barrels
go to the barrel
stored.
section, yeah.
The barrel room, yeah, barrel district.
The barrel district.
It's pretty good film. So we've had about 20 plot points and it's been 5 minutes. So the barrel room here, and then Luca, like, I call him Lucas for loads of the plot as well because I forgot his name too. Lucas.
You forget his name. They say it about 10,000 times.
It's not paying attention. Just bored. Lucas rubs a load of shit on both of them.
Literally.
Yeah. And then they sneak in the barrels, and there's these pigs here, and then they put them in the barrels, and then they like pop it open, and they pretend to be dead, and fair play to them, like they do look dead here. That's not bad. And they're disgusted by the smell. And then the barrel is rolled away into the water, and then they're floating down the water. And then there's a little slime here watching them, and it also jumps in the water. A little blue slime, classic, classic guy, right? He's on my mug. He's good. So then the barrel goes off a waterfall. I felt like that was always a thing, like in cartoons when we were younger.
Lots of going over waterfalls, wasn't it? Yeah,
going over a waterfall and in a barrel as well. Niagara Falls in a barrel. Is that a story that happened?
A barrel yes, I believe it was actually a barrel or a raft. Yeah, there was always always one that happened, wasn't it?
I know. It's like they always talk about like things that you thought would have been a bigger deal when you were younger.
Speaking of Goofy movie, right? There you are.
Yeah. Like jewels, like having rubies and
when
things.
are you gonna get?
Never.
I think they talk about it. Prepare to try. Gaps like, when am I gonna get my first ruby?
Yeah, never seen a bloody ruby. All these your Spyros.
Rubies aren't even like
you're gonna.
You know, you could just go get a ruby, or at least
I could probably buy one. Do you know what? I got like a little Sonic action figure when I was younger.
A ruby one.
When I was deluded. Ruby, little like Barbosa sucking on the ruby. So it was an action figure, and then it came with like little accessories, and some of them were like little.
Oh, the Chaos Emeralds,
like yeah, which I thought was pretty. So I had a little plastic ruby.
He's hoarding them in his room. Like, one day
this will be a real one. So like going off a waterfall is like another thing, you know. But you probably would die. Yeah. Quicksand, that's a good one. Yeah. Lost a shoe in the sand one time.
Did you?
Yeah, Dad had to go get it for me.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Sucked right off my foot. Like sucked it right out. So it does happen. That's in Northern Ireland as well. Imagine other places. Imagine Cambodia or something getting caught in the quicksand. Flipping hell. Nightmare. Or like, what's another thing? Can you think of anything else?
Nope, that's it.
That's it.
Rubies, waterfalls, and quicksand.
Three things. Jetpack. Going on a jetpack.
Yes.
Maybe. Yeah, not actually real.
Unfortunate.
Don't exist.
Yeah.
James Bond lied to us. And San Andreas.
Yeah. What's new? Right.
So, I know. So then we have a cozy little inn or something, and there's this old baldy beard guy here. Gives him some hot cocoa, but it's laced with PCP. Takes a dark turn after this. So he's Dr. Aegon.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Scott, he hates it. He hates it.
Fantastic. That's me going in. Hello, I'm Dr. Acula. Why, Doctor? Why are your classes only at night? You can't teach during the summer. So he's here to spy at the temple. So the Bishop Ladrio is here trying to bring Nimzo back. Ladrio, that might be his name. I can't remember.
I don't even want to tell you what it is
So
because it's just funnier if you don't know. So
remember Nimzo. Remember Nimzo from the opening.
You'll never
narration.
forget Nimzo.
Remember him?
Yeah.
You never forget Nimzo. So Aegon is searching for the Heavenly Hero that can stop Nimzo, right, from being brought back. So he sends the boys off in a box, and then they go on a ship, and then the little slime is still watching, and then they're back at Coburg 10 years later, but literally 5 minutes later in the film. So Harry wants to inform his father, but Luca is like, oh no, I'm sad that my dad is dead, and also he was trying to tell me something about my mother, so I need to do that. Okay? So he needs to go back to the old cabinet where he grew up.
The old cabinet.
Needs to go back to the old wardrobe. And so he just leaves Harry.
Yeah, bye, Harry.
See a guy that was going to be a main character. But then, no, Harry goes over to him, and he's like, sorry that your father died and saved my life.
Yeah, he's all right, isn't he?
He's not too bad. Right. So if you need anything, just ask. Swallowing his pride, of course.
Or don't ask and we'll give it anyway.
I'll just help you. Yeah. So Luca goes in the snow to Wheelbrook, and then he goes into his wee Kratos house.
Yeah.
And it reveals a hidden passage below the fireplace and goes down to a secret room as we Zadras's wee wank cave or whatever. What was his name? Nimzas. What was the dog called?
Radagast.
Radagast.
Roderick Radgran, something like that. Rick Raz.
Pancras.
That was close.
Pancras' wee wank cave. So he reads the diary.
The Goon Cave.
Goo cave. Slime cave. So he reads a diary, and he's saying that his mother was taken because she was a Zenithian, and she will open the gates to the dark world. So then Luca is apparently the heavenly hero that we've been searching for. And is this Scramboli or whatever? Is that who he's talking to here?
What's his name?
Yeah, so
again?
Sancho.
That's right.
So
man. Yeah.
Me, the hero, no way. So then the wee guy comes in. Maybe he's just talking to himself. Can't remember.
No, Sancho, Mustache Man's here for sure.
He only comes in after I've written this.
Oh, okay.
So the wee guy comes in thinking Luca is a burglar. It's Sancho, our favorite character. He's happy that he's alive. Yeah. So then he gives him some soup. If anyone can save her, it's you. Your eyes are proof that you have Zenithian blood. Because they're brown. Or something. Everybody else has
gold.
Blue eyes.
They're gold.
Yeah. So then
you love in a film when there's a little cabin with like bread and dried fruits and garlics hanging on a string, you know? Mm-hmm. That's
you're gonna get the best soup of your life in there.
That's good. That's what we got here.
Hearty.
Yes.
So the sword is in the care of our second favorite character, Mr. Leo Briscoletti.
Yes.
He's like, I will take weeks to get to him. Are you forgetting about all the shit that's going to be in the way, such as forest and things? And he's like, no, Sancho's too scared. Can't even.
Can't
doesn't
do
even
it.
want to
Can't
try.
do it.
Sancho, can you tell me about my mother? She was the kindest woman. I can barely remember her face. So in a flashback, when she's young, her face is just blurred out.
I
You
love
can remember
that.
the rest.
I love that. Remember something else, yeah.
And then we have another flashback. The editing on this bit's terrible. We have another flashback of the dad burning to death.
That's good.
And there's just the fucking mummy. Ah!
Yeah.
So then he goes off running into the snow. And then we have another montage.
I like this. This is good.
It's just so. It's just.
I know.
it's just
I know.
going, isn't it?
I
It's
know.
just going.
Yeah, but would you rather it be a slogging? Like,
Just don't even have it. Just have it cut.
no, this
and
is
he's
good.
there.
I like when he hits the metal slime and
He's fighting a ding in
yeah,
them.
gets King
And
Slime.
then-
You got your Shroomy boys. You got your Mimics. Your pig boys.
Yeah.
Got them all. You got them all here.
Little blue slime comes out then.
Yeah.
Decides to keep him. And then he says, let's go, Goo.
Let's go, Goo.
to him. But his name's Gootru. Silly.
You wouldn't have got far enough in 11, but there's a little hour or so where you meet a friendly slime who basically just makes you invincible because he heals you like every turn, and his name is Elijah, which is good, and that might be one of the best characters in games. And you
Good
missed
in
out.
games, just a little blob.
Yeah.
I've missed out on
Yeah.
that, unfortunately.
He's just
Um,
little
Maybe-
English peasant behavior. This guy.
maybe when I die, I'll be reincarnated as you, and then I'll.
Yeah, maybe.
That'll be good. I'm gonna be doing some wild shit. Just so you know. You're not gonna know yourself after I'm done.
Oh dear.
And then the life after that, I'm just gonna be a rock because of all the
You're
terrible
spent,
things I've
yeah.
done. Yeah. So then I like this bit. There was a funny bit where he's running away from, I don't know their names, these big rock things. You know
The
them. They're
golems,
like
yeah.
the thing. Yeah. He's like, my dad was wrong. My dad was wrong. I'm no hero. Running away from them through the desert, which I think is quite funny. So then he meets the cat, which is just Percy grown up. And he's coming too. And it is going. We're back at the city, and it's all burned. And then we find out that Bjorn is responsible for the damage. And then there's a fucking little freak here. This is Briscoletti,
Yeah.
right? And a girl, and she's like, he's a suitor for you. And then runs out, and it's Luca, right? And then she's called Nera. And then they know each other.
Apparently.
Was that in the 2D bit?
It
Don't know.
maybe
Don't
was. That's what I assumed, but like I have
Yeah.
no idea. No idea. Not only
Yeah.
do we know each
Yeah.
other, but they're both just in love with each other, apparently.
That's the way it was back in the
It
day.
was, yeah. You laid eyes on someone. Actually, I did think this part was quite cute. Like, I think this is like the first part in the movie where you kind of see them like animating like people blushing and stuff, and I thought that was nice. It was cute.
Yep. So if you defeat Bjorn, I will name you my heir, and then you can marry Nera. And then he thinks he's the hero too, like the heavenly hero. And this guy has the sword behind the doors, and Luca goes up, and then there's just a hole in the wall, and the sword is gone.
What?
Okay. Bjorn has taken it. And then, so he goes off really fast, and they come back to an inn, and then everyone looks like, what am I writing here? Everyone looks like a Greek characters here, and they're all burned. What am I talking about?
Luca's all
What
burnt.
am I on about? Luca's all burnt. Maybe that's
Yeah,
it.
Luca's all burnt.
Luca's all burnt.
I like this part
They're all
quite a bit
burnt.
actually, because he asked for the medical herb, right? And here we get Bianca. She comes in, and I like that. You know, she gives it to him. He chews on it, and then it just kind of like poof, like turns in all the ashes turn to just dust and float away, and he's back to normal. I like that. That's
Yep.
cute.
So it's his childhood friend Bianca. How could we forget?
How could you forget Bianca?
We were 3 pixels wide back then. So she's the mage, and she's coming too. And then we see the Zenithian sword amongst some logs, and then there's a big monster, and that's Bjorn, and it knocks them down, and then they fight him. And then Luca goes to use the sword, but can't get it out of his sheath because he's maybe not the heavenly hero. And they just run from Bjorn, and he goes after them, and then they realize that his middle eye is his weakness. And then they defeat him, and then they celebrate.
Scott. Unbelievable.
Who cares?
Unbelievable.
Do they not defeat him?
No, they do.
Well, there you go.
Do.
There we go. Moving on.
He joins their team.
But he only comes
Can't
back
beat
at the
him.
end,
Fight
though.
him. Do beat him.
You can't beat him. Beat him.
You can't beat him. Try again. Maybe it'll work this time.
So they're celebrated
It's your
back in
JRPG
time.
strategy. I got a game over. What I'm going to do this time? Same fucking thing. Try again.
Yep. Celebrated back in time, and then she's mocking him because she knows that he's not the heavenly hero, and he feels like a fraud. So he tells her that his reward wasn't gold coins, because she thought it was gold coins, but it was marrying the blue-haired girl, Nera. That was where I took a break, and I couldn't remember what her name was after. So Bianca is telling him that he has to propose properly to her, but he's just fucking it all up, and then Bianca makes him go over. But you can tell that
11.
she's apprehensive. Yeah. Oh, he's older than 11.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying he's acting like he's 11.
Oh, he's acting like he's 11.
Which, I mean,
like,
fair enough. He's been a slave for 10 years, so that's fine.
he was one. He was one when he went into slavery.
Yes.
Now he's 11.
Lifted rocks,
So-
1-year-old. Just,
Yeah, dinking the rocks about. So he's like, "Will you marry me, please?"
please.
Yes, I will.
Please.
And then she's relieved. And then she's Haru from Persona 5, by the way. This lady.
Oh, is she?
Just so you know. Yep. She's walking away.
I'm like, who? Most forgettable character of all time.
But she also knows that his heart's not really.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's walking away, Mr. Big Balls. I can't believe I'm finally getting married. And then Bianca's drunk, and she's calling him the heavenly hero. She's all blushing as well. And then she's causing a scene, and he runs up to bed. So then there's this wee witch here that comes out of a room, and she's examining him and saying that he's apprehensive about the marriage. This is an interesting little plot beat, isn't it? This,
interesting's a word, yeah.
I know. And then she gives him a love potion so that he will understand.
A truth potion, Scott. A feelings potion.
That's, if you let me.
If you let me.
He's gonna He's really finished. A potion that will understand his deep living
He's
desires.
so mad.
Is what I was gonna say. I
If
know.
you let me
See,
fucking finish,
no,
please.
I've written exactly what she said it would do. Help him understand
So
his deep
annoyed.
living desires. That doesn't. If that doesn't sound like a love potion to you, Dallin, well, we just have to call a spade, okay? So
We just gotta call a truth
fucking-
potion a love potion and move on, yeah.
takes it. But it's about love. It's about how he feels. That's it. Ends call.
Spade's been called, yeah.
So he takes it, and it's like dreams, but it's also a bit like Tetris in here. It's a dream potion.
It's a dream potion.
It's saying choose Nera, but it's actually Bianca what he sees, and this is where it looks like Zinedine Zidane.
Yeah.
And then the slime and cat are like, come on, mate, when he wakes
Yeah.
up. So he runs out to Bianca, and she's just asleep. I guess the old lady was right. And then he goes off to call off the engagement with the Da. And then he's like, oh, you don't care about the great Briscoletti family. And then he says, I'm sorry, my heart belongs to another, and I couldn't marry her knowing that. And then the Da's like, you're rude and ungrateful, get out of here. So he has to give the Zenithian sword back to the Da, but then the Da just gives it back anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like, you're rude and I hate you, but actually, hold on a second.
Yeah, never mind.
We're all right.
You have to go and find the hero and bring them back to the foot of the mountain. The dark forces are at work, and they are filling him with dread. So he's annoyed about the daughter, but he knows it's for the good of the world to do this. Mm-hmm. So then Bianca is like, you're a moron. But then he just proposes to her instead.
Yeah.
And then her face is all red as well at this bit. She's all embarrassed. So she feels the same way. And then we see that the witch was actually Nera. What? She was the guy. She was the guy all along. I noticed that your heart belonged to her. So then...
Why is this in this movie?
I know! A good 15 minutes of this film taken up with this marriage plot.
Yeah.
So then we're with Ladria, and he has the Ma in a big blue ball.
Yeah.
And he's trying to open it up, but he needs more power to do it. And he's just like, I'll do it at the cost of my mortal frame. Okay, he's willing to do anything.
Yeah.
And then the crew go off in the snow to Scamboli here.
Yeah.
Or whatever he's called.
Sancho.
And there's a silent montage of her whispering to him, and then in the biggest head spin of the film, she's just pregnant.
What?
Fucking hell.
And
so with no sound effects, there's just a blonde baby with a full head of hair busting the door. It's just music playing here. And then his eyes, the boy's eyes, are much brighter than yours, Your Majesty. Yeah. And the sword is twitching on the wall.
And he's an idiot. He's like, that must mean the hero's out there somewhere, not right here in this room. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought a young like you would be the hero of light?
I'm just gonna pause 1 second. I'll be back in 2 ticks. So Luca's gonna go off and just leave Bianca behind.
Yeah.
You've had a baby. You're in no fit state to do the Zenithian or whatever. Do Stop
Nimzo. I've had a little look while you were away there, and it looks like in the game you can choose if you want to marry Bianca or what's her face or the other one.
There are 3 choices.
Yes, Bianca, Nera, or Nera has a sister named Deborah, and you can choose. And apparently, Dragon Quest V is the first known video game to feature a quote-unquote playable pregnancy. Don't know what that means.
What does that mean?
Don't know what that means. But
is it mini?
So it just means your choices lead to a character being pregnant, and that character is pregnant in the game.
Not a quick time
event.
Wouldn't mind that.
That'll be alright.
Yeah, it's fine. A jackanism, if you will.
Oh dear.
Yeah, they talk about that at the end with the guy.
Yeah, this time I'm gonna choose. Yeah, they do. Yeah, you're right.
That's quite cool. So Scramboli is like, you've become a man now. You need to go off and stop things. So then monsters attack the Kratos house, and then they escape through the little wank tunnel at the bottom, and then they sled off. See, Kratos should have had a little escape tunnel.
Yes, he should.
Think of all the bother that would have been saved if he just had a little wank tunnel to get out of. So they sled off, and Bianca and the cat go to help Luca fight the monsters who killed the Da. His dad, and then she is made to sleep and falls down, and then Luca falls through the ice into a pit.
Yeah.
And then Ladria picks up Bianca and freezes Luca. So then they're gonna take her, and then they make Luca rocks.
They make him rocks. Yeah.
This is why you like it as well, because it's in Final Fantasy IX.
Yeah. Poor blank. Yeah, some people say make him rocks. Some people say turn to stone. Whatever.
It's his dialect difference. Yeah. Turn to rocks.
It's turned to stone over in the Americas. It's made into rocks over there.
You know I'm doing whatever sounds the most ridiculous.
Yeah.
What sounds silly? Do you remember in Infamous Second Son when they made the old grandma have rock legs?
Yes.
She had rocks in her legs. They made her legs into rocks.
Made her legs into rocks.
That was what the whole plot was about. And then, if you did the bad ending, you just went back and you fucking killed her. It's like, I'm evil now. I'm gonna go kill my rock leg grandma. Stony, the old stony leg granny.
Kicks at the door.
Just fucking, not even with the power, it's just a gun in his hands. Blows her away. Blows her face off. And some say she still had rocks to this day in her legs. So Lucas made into rocks.
He's rocks. He's been made into rocks, yeah.
And Ladria is just like, you could sit here and watch while your world is plunged into unending darkness. So he's off to his mountain with all the, well, speaking of rocks, all the floating rocks around here.
Yeah.
He's just laughing away to himself that it's too perfect that Bianca is also a Zenithian. No, my eyes are the wrong color. I think that you might have been adopted, and then he changes her eyes to goldy brown.
I'd love if it's just like that's all it is. It's just like
I know, just the color eyes. And they didn't do it, but I was thinking, are they going to be brother and sister?
Oh dear.
Fucking hell, imagine that. They're related. Well, they are. They might be related.
Somewhere along, yeah.
Yep.
But I guess we all are, aren't we?
So, Mada, are they doing that because she's like, that sounds like mother.
Mada, Faka,
Mada?
yeah.
Fada and Mada. In the blue orb. So then, he wants Bianca to learn the spells from her because she's a Zenithian, and they will open the gateway to Naderia. If you do all of this, I will set you free. So then Bianca fights him with fire, and then she's off to the cliff, and he helps her up. But then she's rocks as well.
She's rocks, yeah.
She's been made into rocks as well.
Oh no.
Oh no. And then there's times passing now, and then both of them are just made of rocks, and then the monsters are all going over the land here. And then there's the boy who's older now.
That's how it works, yeah.
Yep. And he's with Scramboli, and then they're taking a thing off a Cyclops, and he's just boinging away with this thing to just take the rocks off Luca.
Scott.
Yes, he was boinging about the place. I'm your son. He can unsheath the Zenithian sword.
He does it.
Yeah, and he breaks the Cyclops in half. And then at this point, I'm trying to get through this film as fast as possible.
See,
So
I'm like
for
really
about-
loving it at this point. I'm really enjoying it.
So I'm watching it at times 2 speed, which is really fast.
That's why
So,
he's
but
doinging around for you. I'm like, oh, he's kind of normal. No, he's fucking Yoda to you.
Zipping around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at this point, Alan, I'll tell you my cinematic viewing experience. Okay, not all of the final 40 minutes, but from 40 minutes to the end until 11 minutes until the end. So a good half an hour in there. I'm watching this film at times 2 speed. I'm watching it on my phone with the Japanese dialogue, but the English subtitles, and I'm watching it in the tiny little in-picture screen
Scott.
so that I can type on my phone. This little 1 by 1 inch screen.
This is why you hated it so much. I enjoyed it.
No, but I didn't like it. That's why I was doing this. It's not like
See, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at the start either.
You know, I watched the first full hour normal, and then I watched this
In
half an
chaos
hour.
mode.
Yeah, and then the final 11 minutes, I was like, I'm interested
What the hell's
in
going
this.
on here?
I want to put it on the screen and watch it properly. So I will say the plot might be slightly ropey going forward.
Well, I enjoyed this part, so I can help you out a little bit if needed.
So he can unsheath the Zenithian sword, breaks a Cyclops in half, and for me, you've got the Dragon Quest music at times. So then Sancho is here, and it's the happiest day of his life.
Once again, third time.
Yep. Again, it's been 8 years since they were made into rocks.
In case you didn't catch it, everybody, Luca's back. He's not rocks anymore. In the middle of the doinging around.
He's not made of rocks anymore, no. In the middle of the doing, Luca's been turned
to flesh. He's been made to human.
He's been made to human, or he's been turned to real.
He's been turned to real. Fucking hell. Let's move on, shall we?
So they're on a ship with the cat and the slime. And it's just like it was yesterday. They're back, and we've got the old guy, Dr. Aegon, right? Remember him? Yeah. And we need to get the dragon orb. Okay, that's the next plot.
They love an orb in this series, man. Let me tell you, fucking love an orb.
And it's a symbol of infinity.
Is it,
Dylan?
Is it?
Yeah. It never ends. If you go around an orb, it never ends. So they need the fairies, and now we're off on the cliffs, and then we're fighting the robots here. Okay?
Which this is like your only hint of the fucking hellscape ending that's to come, right? There's going to be robots. There's robots, and he says, yeah, that's just how it's going to be this time.
And then on... There's a little slime here. Good move.
Yeah.
Catches an arrow, and then that doings him. He grabs on, doings him over the gap.
He grabs the arrow in his mouth. Luca grabs the tip. Not of the arrow.
Of the slime.
The tip of the slime.
Doings him over the thing. That's not bad.
Yeah, that's all right.
And then they're in with the fairies where they are. And he's going to get a wish. And he wants the fairy to save the gates of Naderia, and then he's given the dragon orb, and then he's going back to his younger self to get the orb off him. And then we find out he was the guy from the beginning.
He was the guy who's like, nice orb.
Nice
Can I
orb.
see it?
So then he gives him advice about marrying the right choice. So
but
then,
also, Scott, I need to mention this doesn't make any sense. Right? Because if he goes back in time to give him a fake orb so he can steal the real orb, then there was no real orb to begin with. It's not how it works.
Right. Occam's razor.
Again.
Just don't think about
That should have been the title of the movie. Dragon Quest Occam's Razor.
Occam's razor. Dragon. Yeah.
Occam's story, yeah.
That's the next one. So they're on the dragon and they're riding it now. Loads of monsters.
They're on the dragon. Question it.
Yeah. See, it's in the name. And they fly up to Ladrias, and then they free Bianca from the rock. She's no longer rocks.
Turn her into real.
And then she says, "Hi, son. I'm sorry I was rocks for 8 years."
Rocks.
Your mother's up there, by the way, and they fly up to his mother, Luca's mother, and then she tells them to turn back now because he could wipe the whole world out. So they
don't.
Yeah, Ladrias hits the dragon with fire, and they crash down, and the Ma is all hurt. She's out of her bubble, and then she dies.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's signed.
And then,
the Ma has signed her papers. She's punched out now.
The Ma. It says
the Ma.
So all the monsters come out and they fight them. It's quite a good little fight scene.
It's a great fight scene. Yes.
Yep. There you go. I'll admit it.
Thank you.
So then the ship flies up to them, and it's Prince Harry, right, in the armor. That right? No. Yeah.
He's come
okay.
with a little
Bjork is
squadron.
there. Yeah. And then Ladrias takes the Ma's body away, and then Luca goes after him, and they fight, and then Luca stabs him, but he pushes the sword back out, and then the little boy's there to also stab him with the sword, and then he's just a fucking head and chest and hands, and I'm into this as well. He's like the other part of the pedo from Beetlejuice.
You see,
like he's like,
you know what?
He's the head.
You know what he reminded me of is another goo guy.
Googum.
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 No, it reminded me of your fucking smoky smog guy from Fern Gully.
Right. I don't know if I've definitely seen that,
Yeah,
but just not in a
you'd
really
love
long
that.
time.
That's
I watched that
that's
as
a
a child.
stupid ass movie that you would really enjoy. That's got
Robin Williams.
That's got you all over it.
A lot of people just say that Avatar is just Fern Gully.
Yeah.
I sent you what it reminds me of. Different childhood. Reminds me of when Kratos fights Carol on the ferry.
Oh
man,
yeah.
and then
Classic
he just
childhood moment.
destroys part of his body. And how old was I when I played that? 13. That's right. So yeah, it reminds me of that. Just a head and torso and arms. So he uses his body to set Ninzo free. Remember, because he said he didn't care about his mortal form. So
he does
away.
something about sucking up the Ma as well.
Something happens
Yeah,
there.
I don't know
power, ultimate
Yeah.
power. Yeah. So his greatest desire has come true, and then there's a sky portal, and Bjorn is there and throws the little boy up, and then throws his sword into it, and then
that's the end. That's the end of the movie.
A surprise! Cubes come out of the portal, and everything freezes apart from Luca. And then Nimzo comes out, and he's turning off gravity, and then he's saying,
"Oh, Scott,
put the game shark in, changing everything." And he's saying, "I'm a virus in Nimzo's character's code." Okay, and then long ago, there was a game called Dragon Quest that took the world by storm. Flipping Ichiban from Yakuza here. Gives him a little cart. And then VR was made, and then the game was remade, and that's where you are now. It's only been a few hours since you started playing. I like this.
Do you really like this?
I don't mind. It's a bit different, isn't it? It's a bit like...
It's just fucking insane is what it is, Scott.
It is, but it's kind of like the Lego movie. Remember that? Remember that happened?
That's fucking Lego, which is just played with your hand where you go, like...
No.
I hate this. I hate this so much.
But why?
Because that's not... Because, Scott, it doesn't make any sense.
Oh, the story was boring.
No, it was
anyway.
fine. It was fine. It was boring because you were watching on a 1x1 screen.
No, I watched an hour and then I did that. I already had experience over half of the film at normal speed before.
You watched the best parts. This big.
Nah.
Oh no!
It was boring. Oh, a portal. Oh, a sky portal, and a guy that's going to destroy the world. Cool.
All right.
Seen it a zillion times.
Okay, we're not gonna agree. You think it's interesting. I think it undercuts everything good that the movie did have to offer.
But like, what was the guy's story? What was his like arc? Nothing. It was just like, I need to fulfill my destiny. It's not even me anyway.
That's fine. I understand.
That's fine.
Understand, right? It's like imagine, right? Oh, we're making a new Final Fantasy VII movie. Okay, it's coming to theaters. Oh, I can't wait. Get to the end. The end is just Sephiroth is your boss at work, and you're just thinking about being excited to go home and play games.
But you're doing what they do. That's imaginary. That's not actually real. You've invented a scenario there. This is Dragon Quest V that neither of us give a fuck about. Neither of us give two flying fucks about this. So that's different, right?
Oh dear.
I know you're speaking on behalf of them, right?
I've got their back, yeah.
You're speaking on behalf. You can empathize, but that Final Fantasy one's made up. That didn't actually happen. And also, the end of the Final Fantasy 7, I don't really like anyway.
It does suck.
It's
You're
like,
not wrong.
Fucking everybody's
You're
dead.
not wrong.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if they just changed it. That would be good.
It's just, this is no better than it was just a dream to me. Everything was a dream.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's
fair
all.
enough.
It just felt, I don't know, not lazy.
You're not.
Like the
When you think
opposite,
of it
like
in that
too
way,
much.
Yeah.
Like they were trying to do something, and it just like in a game based purely on an hour and 45 minutes of fan service. I don't know what would have led them to make this decision. Anyway,
I think it's because they want people to play the new Dragon Quest game that's coming out.
yeah, but this was 2019.
That's when that came out, isn't it?
Which one?
Dragon Quest 11.
That was like 2017.
Well, they re-released it.
They did. Yeah, well, like the definitive edition. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's what they did.
Maybe. Look, I understand why you think it's interesting. That's fair. You're allowed to think that. That's okay.
In a film where I don't care about anything, I'll take something to make it better.
Sure, that's
I'll take
as long as we can each just see where each other's at and be like,
Yes.
yeah, all right.
I see it's just a dream thing. That is annoying. I know what you mean.
And Scott, let me tell you,
But
I could almost be on board with you here until the slime comes and he goes, I'm an antivirus built into the game. My name is actually Slimgo the Great, and I have a vaccine.
How deep his Japanese is.
Right. This is like your guy. This is like your Instagram guy. Your guy with the sunglasses.
Watashi wa slime.
Watashi wa slime.
It is like Koriwa.
Yeah, Koriwa. That's right.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, so we got him. So he's saying that you guy here, Luca, you're desperately chasing nostalgia, and then the creator and all other players. The creator hates all other players or something. That's, I don't know.
Weird.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't even remember. He says, I am the result of a hacker's boredom. So the programmer says, grow up, loser.
Grow up, nerd.
And tells him to go home.
Get a life.
Nerd. Yeah. And then we see a montage of him and his memory being wiped in the game world. And then the choices between Bianca and Nera. And then Luca is resisting against Nimzo. And then we see in the real world him getting Dragon Quest for his Famicom and then playing it and enjoying it. And then we see him playing it on the PlayStation. Time spent with them was real. And I'm watching this and I'm just thinking, this is you.
You're not wrong. It is nice, but this isn't the place.
This is your story. like they're just illusions. This is false. No, it was just another reality.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's a nice sentiment to come away with.
It is, but not like this.
Rather than just like, here's a plot point, here's a plot point, here's a plot point. Now it's 8 years later, and now I am a child. And like, do we even know his fucking name until like at the end?
Yes. They tell us the minute he's born.
Nah.
But you had it on triple speed, so you didn't hear it.
Playing it. Yeah. Can we play? Like, what would the speed have to be for it to be finished in 1 second?
That's like I saw. Did we see the same thing?
Yeah, I think we did.
The Inside Out thing.
No. For me, it was It was Deadpool and Wolverine, and it was like 14
Oh yeah,
seconds.
see, I saw the same thing,
like,
but it was like the bit in Inside Out when it like zooms into the head of the dad's
okay.
like, and then it's the 14-second Deadpool. It zooms back out.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah. Full movie.
So we did see.
We did, yeah. So Slime comes to protect him, and
I'm really hot.
I'm really warm as well. I know. It's all the art.
Really worked up.
I know. So he's like, I'm an antivirus program to protect this world.
What does you antivirus?
What does you antivirus program? And I'd just like to say, whenever I did Japanese lessons, the Japanese teacher said, whenever we want to pronounce a word that's English into Japanese, she told us, really go for it. She was like, imagine like the most stereotypical Japanese voice.
And that's the way to do it.
Go into
Yeah.
it. That will make you more easily comprehensible. So that is why that's my approach whenever I hear.
So don't cancel him. He's only doing what he's been told.
I'm doing what I was taught by a Japanese
Yeah.
lady. So gives it to him, and it's the sword, and then Luca attacks Nimzo, explodes, world comes back, everyone's okay. They all celebrate and wave goodbye to the ship with Harry on it. I'll have to go back to the real world, but you'll always be real to me. And then Slime goes a little wink.
Ding.
Bianca and the sun are calling Luca over. This adventure will stay with me forever. And then he goes with them. I'm glad I'm not alone. You have us forever. And then they watch the fireworks during the daytime on a hill.
During the daytime, yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone loves fireworks in the day. Yeah.
Yeah. This is as real as it gets. I was the hero. And I'm thinking at the end, do you know what? You've charmed me, film. Not too bad. But what's the real guy doing? Has he just been there for 35 hours playing
Jacking
this?
it,
just
yeah.
in a mall. Like in the shopping center. Like it's not even at home doing this. And then I love Japanese credits. Like they do like little montage of like stills or whatever. And then at the end it was just the final shot and it just said, continue your adventure ...
Foreboding, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that's it. That's the film, the great cinematic masterpiece, Dragon Quest Your Story.
Yeah.
So we have a bunch of categories that we have not visited in a while. So the first question is it a good video game adaptation? And I'm going to say yes.
I'm also going to say yes with that little at the end.
But at least like they tied it into Dragon Quest.
For sure.
It wasn't just
that's
like
fine, but
it wasn't just like a random like meta thing for no reason. It wasn't like we're in the future and we're trying to stop a future war of robots like it wasn't like that.
Yeah, that's fine.
It was just like
no, it sounds like Dragon Quest, looks like Dragon Quest, feels like Dragon Quest.
Yeah. Last time when we did Five Nights at Freddy's, I put yes but no. So
was that the last
we're gonna
one?
rank. That was the last one. When was that? Like November?
October,
October. Okay, so we're gonna rank the game series. I don't have a great affinity for Dragon Quest.
I think we can rank it on reputation, which is pretty good.
I'll do 10 down from where I think it would go.
Okay, sure.
So I'm gonna start at number 20, and I'll give you this list of stuff, and you'll just put it in the description or whatever.
Okay.
Just so I don't have to read the whole thing.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go from 20, and I'm gonna read 10 down. So 20, Prince of Persia. Do you think it's above
I think
that?
it's about Prince of Persia, yeah.
Okay. So 19, Sonic. 18, Need for Speed. 17, Max Payne. 16, Ni no Kuni. 15, Tomb Raider. 14, Doom. 13, Gran Turismo. 12, Silent Hill. 11, Ratchet and Clank.
Right in there. Probably above Tomb Raider. Yeah, around there.
What about... I would go... Because Ni no Kuni's there, and I like Ni no Kuni a lot, I would go below Ni no Kuni. I know there's less games, and there's
dramatically
less.
less.
But they're 2 for 2
Yeah, they
now,
are 2 for 2. You're right.
whereas you were bored out your arse playing the other one.
I made it through. I didn't finish Ni no Kuni 2, though.
I haven't even played that one. I haven't played the first one.
I really love them both. Of the one that I played, yeah.
I played half an hour of the second one, and I
put it above Ni no Kuni. Put it above Ni no Kuni.
Okay. Dragon Quest goes in at number 16. So we're gonna rank the protagonists. So we're just gonna pick Luca here, right?
Yeah.
Luca, what we have here.
Luca, what we have here.
That's what I'm gonna put down. Are we thinking he's okay to decent?
I think he's good.
You think he's good?
Yeah. Look, I know the pacing's bad, but I have no issues with this guy whatsoever. I think he's good.
Okay, I'll read out the good ones.
Please.
So we've got 14, Yusuke and Haru.
Fucking who? Oh, is that Ni no Kuni as well?
They're from Ni no Kuni. I've seen the film. I've seen the film as well.
Keep going.
So that's one game and one film. 13, Lou and Johnny and Sonia 1995. 12, Ranger Finn. 11, Lara Croft 2001. 10, Ashi, Misty, Brock, Pikachu. 9, Ratchet and Clank. 8, Red. 7, Sonic and Tails. 6, Tim and Pikachu. 5, Mario, Luigi and Peach. 4, Phoenix Wright. 2, 2, Hank Rogers. 1, Kazuma Kiryu. I fucking beat like the VR Tetris game, Tetris Connect or whatever, and in the credits it was Hank Rogers, and I was like, where the fuck do I know that from?
Why is it spelled weird?
I know.
Below Ash and crew.
That's really high.
It is.
I think you're letting your love for JRPGs get away with you. I think that's
I don't even like this series.
You want it to be high. You want it to be higher.
I just thought it was cute.
Fine, whatever. There we go. Look at what we have here. Brilliant. Okay.
Look at who's coming to dinner. Yeah.
Now the villains. Ladrias, right, is what's he?
Bottom.
I got all the sheep in the trailer all
The
by
gunk?
myself.
The gunk, yeah. You what, buddy?
The
I
gunk.
got all the sheep in the trailer all by myself.
You did?
Uh-huh.
Nice. High five. I'll be right there, okay?
So, in the gunk, we have 51, Kilrathi, 50, Demons and Richard E. Grant, 49, Minister / Heihachi, 48, Takashi / The Church, 47, Energine, 46, The Order of Valtiel.
Alright, he's better than all of these.
The Syndicate. 44, Dong Zhao Feather Sephiroth. 43, Birkin, Umbrella. 42, Terrible Irish M. Bison / I. Bison. 41, Hein and the Phantoms. 40, Diabolos. 39, Jeremy Irons. He's better than all those.
Better than all those,
I think it was Shiders then. 38, Galderoth. 37, Belikov and Robert Nepper. 36, Braddock and Puss.
Oh my god.
35, Bohan and Ninetales. That's Snake Woman. 34, Ben Kingsley. 33, BB-8. 32, Bill Nye. 31, Dominic Cooper. 30, Donovan. 29, Spence / Umbrella. 28, other race car drivers, Gold Boy. 27, Shao Kahn. 26, Gary Oldman and Double Dragon.
Fuck it. I don't know, man. Just chuck it in. Just chuck him in.
Chuck him in anywhere.
Chuck him in the middle of Shiders. I don't know.
I'm gonna go below Ben Kingsley.
Alright. I don't even know.
Couldn't even tell you. Ben Kingsley was
Yeah,
from.
no idea.
What was he in? We have to.
But I don't think it was actually
Was it-
Ben Kingsley. Oh, it was Prince of Persia.
It was
Yes.
him. It was him.
Yeah, that's right.
So Ladrios.
That's
goes in
fine.
at number
That's fine.
35.
Yeah.
All right, and now ranking the actual films. So you probably want to put it in good. I put it in okay. That's where I'll fall. I'm happy with that. Okay to decent is where I would
Okay,
go.
let's read it.
So 17, the Angry Birds movie. 16, Werewolves Within. 15, Mortal Kombat 2021. 14, Gran Turismo 2023. 13, Mortal Kombat 1995. 12, Tomb Raider 2008. 11, Ratchet and Clank. 10, Sonic the Hedgehog. 9, Lara Croft Tomb Raider. I'd put it maybe above Angry Birds.
I was going to say
but maybe
below Gran Turismo, but I could see it going down further.
Did you not enjoy the 2021 Mortal Kombat more than this? Do you remember when he had the hat?
I remember the hat. I do.
Do you remember the guy? Remember the bit at the start with Scorpion?
Yeah. That was so long ago. I can't believe that. That was like a lifetime ago. Yeah, we can put it below that. That's okay. That's okay. I really did enjoy an hour and a half of this movie quite a bit. Like, all its flaws present, that's fine. I was watching it with Sky. She was having a great time.
She's not on the podcast.
No, she's not. And she's going to want to finish. She's going to want to finish it when she wakes up this morning. And I'm going to have to be like, okay, just know that the end's going to suck. But yeah, that's fine. We can put it right below that Mortal Kombat if you want to.
I'd put it lower, but that's okay. I'd probably put it in, just so my peace has been made, I'd probably put it in bad.
Oof. What's the top of bad?
Max Payne. I'd, like, honestly, I'd put it at 28, which is below Warcraft.
That's insane. That's insane. I can't believe that.
But above Resident Evil. Welcome to Reckoning. I'd rather watch this again than that.
I mean, look, I really hated the ending, and it spoiled it immensely for me. So that's okay, as long as it's above Resident Evil.
I think like the ending spoiling things is fine when you care about anything else in the film, and that's where I may be coming down on it. Like it just didn't spoil it for me because I just didn't really like. I don't know. It just felt like we're going and doing the thing story. Just like there's an evil thing that we need to stop.
It's very rote, but I really liked the animation. I really liked the characters. I thought it was really cute.
Yeah. So it's at 16, above Werewolves Within, but below that Mortal Kombat. Right. That's absolutely fine.
I think what's interesting is we've kind of gone like we haven't even met in the middle, but like we've just like you started pretty low and then came up with the end. I started pretty high, came down with the end.
I think the ending makes it better.
Yeah, I think it completely undercut. I think it undercuts the whole thing.
I understand why the pace is so fast now as well. That makes it make more
sense.
Understandable. Yeah, it makes sense why it's just like zipping along. That's fine.
Well,
big sigh.
It's just like, I think to Dragon Quest fans, if you haven't seen this, watch it. When the blocks come out, just fast forward a little bit.
But you might like it.
You might like it. You liked it. You might like it.
But it's affirming your hobby.
It is, and like I said, the message is nice. I do like it because I think that it's spot on, right? Like when you finish Uncharted 4 and you're like have this like melancholy happiness that it's like over. It's like it was real. Like Nathan Drake and Elena and everybody, they feel very real.
But at the same time, the story does like culminate. He does defeat the bad guy. And then he doesn't go back to reality. He like continues on with his wife and his son. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like the film ends on him just fucking going home and having
taking off the headset. Yeah,
yeah. Like it doesn't. It ends like in the world of the game. So he does defeat the monster, and he gets to just live on to go on another adventure.
Yeah.
So like, it doesn't do you know what I mean? Like, it still keeps going.
I understand why you like it and why you thought that it was an interesting little bit. That's fine. Mm-hmm. But just as long as you're aware, I think that's the thing is you have to know. If you know, you might be okay.
If you know, you might be okay.
You might be okay. Well, shit. That's it. That's it for this week. What are we doing next week? 200th episode?
200th episode, we're going to celebrate with... Is it the best video game adaptation of all time?
Maybe.
Borderlands.
Came to streaming so fast.
Like that. Like the plot. Plot beats in this film. Dinging along, just right out there. Yeah.
All right. That's it. Goodbye, everybody. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.